We're talking with Robert Sweet from Stryper. He's going to be telling us a little bit about their new album, In God We Trust. What came about? What were you thinking about when you decided to call the record In God We Trust?
Well, it was another one of those type of things where we were on the tour bus late one night, and the idea just popped into my head of, what's on money, the phrase that is on money everyone sees every day. And I said to the guys in the band, hey, look, what do you think of the idea of calling the album In God We Trust and putting like $100 bill? And everyone kind of went, well, that's kind of a cool idea, but let's just wait and see. And the more I thought about the idea, the more I realized how it would be money saying the title, really. Stryper's not really saying In God We Trust. And when you see the album cover, you'll realize that it's actually money that makes that statement. And I think it's really cool because what it does is it reminds people of what they see every day. The United States, the nation, was built on that idea of trusting in God, and it's on our money. And we just thought it would be a real cool way to remind people of what's there. It seems to be kind of, take it for granted, or a lot of people forget what that statement stands for. So it's a rock and roll reminder of what the truth really is.
A lot of people would say, have said, that money is the root of all evil. How do you feel about that?
It's very easily answered. You see, it's a common thing to forget two key words that are in that statement you just used. A lot of people say that money is the root of all evil, but that's not really what it is. The love of money is the root of all evil. And if you kill for it, or steal for it, or lie for it, or sell your body for it, or whatever you do, if you're in the wrong frame of heart for money, if you're greedy, if you're self-centered, if all you care about is yourself, and if you have a lot of money and you're stingy, you don't help other people out, then it's wrong. But to have actual pieces of paper that are white pieces of paper with green ink on them, there's nothing wrong with that. It's your attitude of heart.
About recording the record, so far it's been a busy time for you. How has this recording experience been different than, say, To Hell with the Devil?
It's been very busy, and it's taken a little bit longer, but you know what? I think this album has been a lot, for me, it's been a fun time, especially with working with some of the people we've been working with, and working with Michael Lloyd and some of the people at the studio. It's been fun. It's a lot of work. It's 4.5 months, probably 5 months to do the record. In comparison with some other bands, it's a short time, but for us, it's kind of long. But it's pretty much, the same type of thing. It is doing any of the Stryper albums, just getting in there and going for it. Like I said, this one's taken a little bit longer, but I think it's been a lot of fun, especially in comparison with To Hell with the Devil.
You said the other day that you were sort of itching to get back out on the road. How do you integrate your personal life with being away from your home base for so long?
It's very easy. I just get on the tour bus. With me, it's just a real simple thing. I know it's what you have to do. You have to get out there and play. People want to see you, and it's what I do best. I love being in the recording studio. I think it's great, but after seeing four walls for a couple months, I kind of miss being out there playing on stage. So it's really what I live for, so it's real easy just to go and do it. I'm looking forward to being out there and playing. I mean, it's hard. It's not as easy as a lot of people think, but for me, it's a real simple thing. I'm a single guy who doesn't have a lot of responsibilities at this point in my life, and I love playing drums on stage, So it's very simple. I just get out there and do it.
A lot of drummers are really both visually and actually way in the background in terms of where they are in the band. The guitarist or the vocalist has all the focus, but you've always had a different approach.
I try to have a different approach. A lot of drummers really aren't noticed, and that's not really the whole point of why I play drums, is to get noticed. But just to have fun. A lot of drummers are just looked at as the guy who just hides behind the kit, and his job is just to keep the backbone of the band and going, keep that beat going. And he's usually not too smart of a guy, but he can hit things hard, and maybe he's tough enough to break a cymbal or something. And with me, I just always went, I don't understand why drummers are hid, whether drum sets cover them up. Now, not all drummers are hid, and there are a lot of visual guys out there, but for me, I just like taking the attitude of it's a very visual thing, it's entertainment, it's a good time, it's a lot of fun. I'm actually, if you want to know the truth, not a really good drummer. Everything I do is pretty simple. I mean, I'm not a bad drummer. I do good in Stryper. But everything I do is really simple, but I just like to have a lot of fun with it. And that's why, say for example, I really like Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee and I, we're different as far as what we stand for and the lifestyle we live. But he's a real visual type of drummer with the drum stage that goes upside down. I wish I would have thought of the idea myself. But he's a real visual type of drummer, and I really liked it to see that. So that's what I try to be. I look at my job as being in Stryper. I'm here to speak and visual timekeep. So I try my best.
How do you feel overall about the way the albums come out? I've only heard a few of the rough mixes so far, but it sounds like everything's right there. It's really happening.
Well, good. That makes me feel good. I think this album's turning out outrageous. I think as far as vocal harmonies and great production, I think this album, and I know every band in the world says this about their latest album at the time, but I think this is the best Stryper album by far. I feel great about it.
Thank you, Robert, for taking time out with us today, talking about Stryper's new album, In God We Trust. We're talking with drummer Robert Sweet from Stryper, who's telling us a little bit about his new album, or the band's new album, I should say, In God We Trust. A lot of kids, when they are old enough to leave home, are very happy to do that, to be out on their own, sort of test their wings, as it were. You're pushing 28, and you're working with your brother and your mom. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you might have missed something by not sort of going out and being more on your own?
Well, I suppose it was just the thing for me, to work with Mike. Him and I started working together when we were like really young, and we just made a decision, hey, we work together, this works out fine, and we'll stay together. Mike and I have real supportive folks, and years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, we just thought, well, hey, our mother's got her head on her shoulders, she really knows what she's doing, and she's really into it, so, Ronnie James Dio, his wife, manages him, Michael Jackson's folks manage him. We just thought this would be a pretty cool thing to do. So it's worked out fine. I enjoy it a lot. As a matter of fact, it's kind of hard for me to visualize it any other way than what it is now.
You're the only one of the band that's not married.
Yeah, that question is asked quite a lot, and the answer to that is yes, it is true.
Do you think you're going to meet the right person before you turn, say, 30?
I don't know. I think so. But you can never really tell. I know someday I'm going to get married. Whether that's 3 months from now or a year from now or 2 years from now, I don't know. But someday, yeah. See, my problem is I'm 28, but I feel 20. Is that a problem?
I'd love to be 28.
No, I'm not even 28 yet. While we're recording this, I'm 27. So that's my thing, is I feel a lot younger than what I really am. So I don't know, maybe that holds me back. Plus, I haven't really met who she is, but I'm sure the future holds good things.
How about your drumming? Do you see yourself getting better with each album? I mean, you were saying that the album as a whole sounds probably better than anything that Stryper has done thus far. Do you see that as being the sum of the component parts, like the guitar playing was better, the vocals are better, and your drumming is better? Do you see yourself improving from album to album?
Yeah, I do, but as a drummer, a lot of times, even though maybe I improve as far as learning a lot of different things to put in a song, a lot of times it's best for the song just to stick to something very simple. And that's how it is with most of the songs, because the emphasis isn't really on, hey, how good is the drumming, but how good is the song. So no, I think everyone in the band is getting better. I really, truly believe that. But a lot of times, for the sake of the song, the drum beats are very simple, or the rhythm guitar parts are real simple. But no, I think everyone in the band's improving. Mm-hmm. At least I hope.
Whenever I read an article about Stryper, it's almost locked in that it's going to say plagued by controversy or something along those lines. The In God We Trust, Soldiers Under Command, To Hell with the Devil, all of those things have been bold statements, but the pioneers, as they say, you can always tell them by the arrows sticking out of their backs. Have you ever thought of maybe not trying to be the center of a controversy, or do you intend to be controversial, or do you think that just happens as a result of what you stand for, what you believe in?
It's never really been a thing where we've sat down and we've said to ourselves, okay, we want to be controversial this year, so let's do this. It's never truly been like that. We've just had an idea of, hey, this is what's going to work best for the album. Say for a title for one of the albums, we've never had sat down and made a long list and said, okay, let's pick the one that's really going to get everybody's attention. In every case, it's always been, there's just been one title, and that's the one to go with. And I guess the thing that makes it controversial is, that we sing about Christ. So that zeroes in, that makes people zero in, I suppose, on the titles or what we're standing for or what we're singing about. But, I don't know. There may be some controversy, but when we decided to use this title for the album, it wasn't for the sake of controversy. It was that we wanted to make a point. And that's really how every album's been. To Hell with the Devil was to basically say, look, the devil's a bad guy and to hell with him. Soldiers Under Command was basically the type of record saying, look, if you're gonna fight the good fight, you got to be a soldier, right? And if you're gonna be a soldier, you better be under the correct command, and that's God's command. So that's pretty much all it meant. But you are true, Soldiers Under Command and To Hell with the Devil did cause some controversy. So I guess we have to wait and see what awaits for this record, for this album.
What do you have in the way of long-term plans? I mean, ultimately, 10, 15, 20 albums down the road, you're going to be old like me. It happens. It creeps up on you. I
know. You can't stop it. You know what? Everybody gets older, but no one has to get old. So I will get older, but I will not get old. And I hope there's another 15 albums down the line. That'd be great. But I just don't ultimately know what the plan is, People have said, what are you going to be doing 20 years from now? I have no idea. I think everything that's going on right now is enough at this moment just to handle. And I really don't know, to be truthful.
We've been talking with Robert Sweet from Stryper, and we've been talking about their new album, In God We Trust.